Wicked ways beneath the skin, not all who taste it now join in. And I'm not going to attempt to do a laugh. Let's talk about Disney Descendants. And yes, I don't have an apple, but oh well. Let's start! It's Disney Nerd here, aka Abby, and I have a very interesting topic for us to talk about because I have finally seen the third Disney Descendants movie and I absolutely love the Disney Descendants franchise. I am so sad that it is the last film, but I totally understand why, and I'm not going to talk about that straight away. We are just going to dive in. We are going to talk about all 3 films. Now, I do want to disclose something. Yes, I'm in the UK, and yes, Disney Descendants hasn't been released to us, but I found a way. I have seen the 3rd film, and yes, I live in the UK, so technically it isn't out here yet. That being said, let's talk about Disney Descendants. Now, I wanted to do a really cool intro. I looked for an apple, couldn't find an apple, looked for a banana, because that's all that I had. And I decided instead to just use my spooky glass, which has Malibu on it, which just shows how much I love Malibu. So, this is going to be a lengthy video. Grab a beverage and let's go. So, for all you people that don't know what Disney Descendants is, it is a Disney Channel original movie directed by Kenny Ortega, who directed High School Musical. So yeah, great standards, and he totally didn't disappoint me on any of the films. So it is about the Disney villains' children. We have the main one, we have Mal, who is Maleficent's daughter, and also her father has been announced, and I'm going to say this now, spoilers ahead, because I am going to discuss all 3 films, so if you haven't seen them, I'm really sorry, this is probably not the video for you, but Mal's father is Hades, and that was a super, not surprise, because I kind of already sort of felt like that was going to happen, but it was a surprise to the system when they announced it, well, did a teaser, where it basically just said who it was. So yeah, so Mal has some interesting parents. She's the only one that has been told mum and dad. So interesting. So yeah, there is Mal, who is my absolute favourite. I am sporting Mal. I've got my purple. I wish I had her hair because I absolutely love the actress. She is played by Dove Cameron. I love her, as I've said. She's just amazing. I think she's so talented. I do think that Mal definitely brought out her talent, but I loved her in Liv and Maddie, and I'm just a huge fan of Dove Cameron in general. I love her music that she made with her ex-fiance. I'm sure they were engaged. I listen to constantly, and I also love her brand new romance and wish her all the best. So yeah, that was Mal. The next girl is Evie, and Evie is played by Sophia Carson, who again is so talented. She's stunning, and I mean, who doesn't love Sophia Carson? She's just absolutely perfect. Like, the casting is just spot on. And she is the evil queen's daughter, which is the villain from Snow White. So yes, I know people are shocked. I hate Snow White so much. I don't hate her. I guess I can't keep saying I hate her. I don't like Snow White. But I love Evie. I think that she's just such a good character, and I don't like the evil queen either. So yeah. Moving on. The next actor and character I want to talk about is the late Cameron Boyce. When I heard the news of his passing, I was so so upset, but totally glad that they're not, like, I know it sounds awful, but like going to replace him or make a thing about him, because the one thing that I understand as from an actor is you need, you know, everyone was so upset about it, and I mean I was upset too, totally upset, because mainly because of his age. He was only 20 years old, and I can't even imagine, like, he had so much life ahead of him. Anyway, I'm not gonna start this by crying. But yeah, he plays Carlos DeVille, which is Cruella DeVille's son, and I mean, he is my favourite out of the guys, just because I just think his storyline was amazing, and it was just super funny, and his relationship with the dog in the end. He's terrified of dogs when he first gets there, because obviously Cruella DeVille's his mum. She probably told him dogs are evil so that she could get away with what she was doing. And he makes a friend, he makes his dog called Duke, and it's just a super cute relationship. Carlos is going to be missed off my screen, and Cameron Boyce is definitely going to be missed off my screen. He was a Disney Channel star. I think he was on Jessie when he was like maybe 9 or 10, and he's just grown so much, and he will be very, very missed. And the next person is Jay, which is the son of Jafar. He is not my least favourite character. I do think that they give him more storyline and gave him more meaning. He's just not my favourite in the guys. I don't really like Jafar, so I guess that could be why, because I think Cruella DeVille is fabulous in her own rights, although I don't agree with what she does. But it would be nice to see her backstory into maybe why. Hint, hint, Disney. But I do think that they've actually maybe cast somebody for Cruella. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Jay is played by Bobo Stewart, who is so cute, and the first time I ever saw him acting was on Twilight. He played Seth, the youngest werewolf, and I loved Seth so much, and in Breaking Dawn, where they do that fantasy scene and basically everybody dies, I was very upset when Seth died. I just thought that he was young and he shouldn't have, but it's a film, it's not real life. This video is going to be so emotional every time I talk about Cameron Boyce. Okay, yes, so these are the villain children, and they are based at the Isle of the Lost. So this is talking about the first film. So they're based on the Isle of the Lost. They basically want to be the parents. They're rotten to the core. Hashtag music. Beginning song. Which is an awesome dance sequence, by the way. And I always wanted to learn the dance. And I'm trying. Still getting there. Anyway. They are based at the Isle of the Lost, where there is no magic, and basically all the villains have been banished by the good people. Yeah, the heroes, I guess. By Belle and Beast, who are the main people in Oregon, and their son Ben decides that he wants to bring villain children to Oregon so they can learn at, oh my god, what's the school called? What's the school called? Oregon Prep. Oh my god, that took forever. He wants them to learn there so that basically he believes that not everyone is bad and that there is good in people, and he wants to bring them over so that basically they can embrace the goodness and not be the parents, which I think was adorable. And Ben is played by Mitchell Hope, and he's so good. I think he's a brilliant actor. I'd never heard of him before until Descendants, but I think they portrays King Ben very, very good. Although he's Prince Ben in the first film, which gives you a little spoiler of what's going to come. So he decides to choose these 4 children. So as I said, Evie, Carlos, Jay and Mal, and they go to Arden, which is this magical, magical place where all the princesses and the princes live and their children, which basically this film is just about, like, practically everyone has a kid. So yeah, which is great. I think that was a nice take on it. Anyway, so obviously they are going to have some sort of reason to why the parents have agreed to this, and it gets pretty much dragged into in the first couple of scenes. And that is basically that they want the villain children to steal the fairy godmother's wand and break the spell so that they can lead the Isle of Lost and control the world. Shocker, I know. And guess who's on top of all this? Maleficent, my girl, who is played by Kristen Chenoweth, and I love Kristen Chenoweth, and I've recently started watching Glee again, and I love her. Just love her. Amazing. Brilliant casting. And I don't know what her name is, but the woman who plays the evil queen is also the woman who plays, not Sarah, what's her name? Mary Sanderson from Hocus Pocus, which I totally didn't realise until I read about it, because I was like, I feel like I know her. And I can't remember her name, so I'm really sorry. But she plays her. Fabulous, as always. And the other two, I have no idea who plays them. Anyway, so this is Maleficent's plan, and she basically tells Mal that this is what she wants her to do. So they arrive at the school and they meet Princess Audrey, who is Sleeping Beauty's daughter, which is like hella awkward because the first person that they meet and they come face to face with is Sleeping Beauty's daughter, and obviously Maleficent's daughter. That's obviously getting a clash because, you know, Maleficent basically tried to kill her mum and everybody else. So yeah, by putting them in a deep sleep so that they couldn't wake up. Hashtag awesome. Maleficent's awesome, sorry. So yeah, they meet, and Princess Audrey is Prince Ben's girlfriend. Shock. And she is your floaty, average princess, damsel in distress in the first film. I'm gonna throw that out there now. So that basically brings us to the villain children going to goodness class with the fairy godmother, who is the head teacher at the school, and teaching them all about what's good and making them soak up all that goodness, as Mal so poetically puts it. So the villain children try and break into the museum. It doesn't go well. Shocker, because not everyone's bad. So they decide that the only way they're going to be able to get the wand is to go to the cotillion. I think it's called the cotillion. Yeah, cotillion. And Ben tells them that they'll be nowhere near the wand because the only people that are at his front are his family and his girlfriend, which brings Mal to her genius plan to make Ben fall in love with her by eating a cookie. Shock. So yeah, and then basically she's trying to get Jane, who's fairy godmother's daughter, to get her to give her the wand. So Mal's all above this plan. Evie basically finds out that she is super smart, even though she didn't think she is. She uses this mirror to basically find all the answers, but actually when it gets taken away from her, she is hella smart. Carlos obviously gets with Duke, who's the dog, and that's a loving relationship, and Jay learns that he likes to tackle people, so they basically join him in football. So Ben gets overly attached to Mal very quickly because he's under a love spell. Yeah, you know, Maleficent's daughter, what were you expecting? So I'm trying to make this super short because I feel like this is going to be a really long video, so I'm going to keep going. So Ben sings a song, did I mention? Awesome song, love it, sing it to Ashley all the time. Or I used to when we first watched Descendants. I haven't sang it to her in a while. I feel like I need to owe her that number. And things get really serious, and Mal actually ends up falling in love with Ben. Oh, cute. They go on a date, and Ben jumps into this enchanted lake, and Mal can't find him, so she jumps in, but she actually has never learned how to swim, so that's super romantic. And also I forgot, Mal sings an amazing song called If Only, and again Duff Cameron vocals on top. Awesome. Okay, so you get to the cotillion. Mal has decided that it would be really evil of her to let Ben still be in love with her when she takes the wand. She's still going to go through with the plan because she feels like that's what she's got to do for her mum. So she gives him a brownie to take the love spell off, but actually shocking, Ben is not under a love spell because when he jumped into the enchanted lake, all of the spells wiped away. So he actually really does love Mal and he gives him her ring, which is super cute. So you get on to Cotillion, everything's going great, all of a sudden, oh my god, somebody nicks the wand. But it's not the villain kids, it is Jane, because Jane has decided that she wants her mum to give her a makeover and she won't, so she decides to do it herself, and Jane actually breaks the spell onto the Isle of the Lost because she doesn't know what she's doing, and she shoots it off and Maleficent escapes. Then the villain kids take the wand and Ben basically says that she doesn't have to be like her mum, and Mal decides to be good. And she basically announces that she wants to be good, she loves Ben, and she wants to stay on Auradon. Cute, cute moment. And then who comes? Maleficent. And basically Maleficent stops and makes everyone freeze, and Mal has to face her mum, and she turns her into a tiny little lizard because she shrinks to the size of a heart, which is cute, kind of. So Mal wins and they get to stay at Auradon, and then they have a big party and a big dance, and then after the whole scene of Set It Off, which is again another awesome song, Mal turns to you guys, the camera, and says, "You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you?" And boom, you knew you were going to get a Descendants 2. So moving on to Descendants 2. Mal has a dream that basically she is still Mal, she's still wicked, and they do this whole big scene called Ways to be Wicked where they poison all the apples, which was my intro, but I didn't have an apple. But it's just a dream, and she's basically living a big lie. She's got blonde hair, which Dogcaver naturally has blonde hair. She's got blonde hair with tiny little purple streaks, so her hair's not fully purple anymore. And basically all of the other villain kids are totally fine and don't want to go back to the Isle, don't care about the Isle, don't ever want to think about the past. They just want to be good and move on, and Mal is struggling. So she basically said that she handed her spell book in and she didn't, and she's done a spell on her hair. She goes on a picnic with Ben and spells all this food, and he finds her spell book and they have a big fight, and Mal leaves to go back to the Isle of Lost where she meets Dizzy, another awesome character who is the daughter of Drizella, who is Cinderella's sister. So her mother is Lady Tremaine. So that is her grandma, if you like. Yeah. Anyway, so she gets her hair back to normal, she's purple, everything's fabulous, and then you meet Uma. Uma used to be Mal's friend, but Mal decided that she didn't want to be friends with her anymore and basically shunned her. So Uma hates Mal, hates Ben, basically wants to take over Auradon, just like in the first film when Maleficent wanted to. And she has a pirate crew, and she has two main people, and that is Harry Hook, which is the son of Captain Hook, and Gil, who is the son of Gaston. Both of them actors are awesome. I don't know who plays Gil. I know that Thomas Doherty plays Harry Hook because he is actually Dove Cameron's partner now, and I hope I say this right, China McClain plays Uma, and China McClain is awesome. I love her. Anyway, so basically they find out that Mal is back, and also Ben chases after Mal, so Evie, Carlos and Jay, and Duke because he stows away. And I forgot one important bit, but I'll get there. The stowaway go to the Isle of Lost, try and find Mal. Ben finds Mal, tells her he loves her. Mal basically says that she can't be who he wants her to be and tells him to go, and then he gets kidnapped by Harry, Hook and Gil, obviously. So Uma's got her bait, and she tells Mal that unless she gives her the wand, she'll not get them. There is a big awesome fight scene where Lani, who is the daughter of Mulan, escapes around with them and helps fight, and it is called It's Going Down, and I love it so much. Probably not one of my favourite songs though. Big fight. So Mal has made a copy of the wand and gives it to Uma. Uma asks Mal to demonstrate the wand, and basically Duke ate a truth gummy and now can talk. That's the crazy part. So she does this, Uma thinks it works, they escape with Ben, they realise it doesn't work, but as they've escaped, Mal dropped her spell book. Then you get to the, I think it's called Cotillion again. I'm not too sure. Another big event for Ben where he's basically going to become the king, and he is under a spell because Uma appears and he thinks he's in love with Uma, and he reveals a big picture of him and Mal's got purple hair, green eyes, and looks fabulous. And Mal realises how much Ben loves her and how much he actually loves her for her, and she kisses him, breaks the spell. Uma gets jealous, turns into a big octopus because Uma is the daughter of Ursula. So yeah, octopus, that makes more sense. Mal turns into a dragon, which she didn't know she could do until then. And they have a fight. Ben gets in the middle, basically tells them that they don't need to fight, and Uma disappears. Mal returns back in a totally different dress to what she was in originally. She's in a beautiful purple dress, and everyone dances and everyone sings. La 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 la, great. Uma appears at the end and says, "You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you?" And now we are on to number 3, and this has been 20 minutes long. Sorry! I love this film and I really want to tell everyone about it. Okay, so the third film. So Mal, Evie, Carlos and Jay have totally accepted that there is good and there is bad in them, and they have been allowed to add more villain kids to Aradan Prep, and they get to choose one, and they're going to come back every couple of months and choose more and more and more. So basically everyone has the chance to go to Aradan, which is amazing and so great. But obviously things are never as they seem. Uma is still MIA, no one has seen her, and Mal thinks that she's plotting something. Ben proposes to Mal, super cute. Mal says yeah. Audrey's there because Audrey wasn't in the second one. She disappeared. She probably was really jealous and didn't want to be part of it. Didn't want to be there. So she probably went on a break. I think she did because I think there's like a little short thing of Audrey's royal return. Anyway, Audrey is very, very, very upset about this proposal, and she breaks into the museum to steal the crown, but during an amazing song called Queen of Mean. But the first song, sorry, I forgot to say that was Good to Be Bad, where they chose villain kids. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll tell you who the villain kids are in a minute that they choose. So basically, Audrey puts on the crown, and she also gets beckoned by, I think, Maleficent. I'm not too sure. Basically, there's like this whole big scene where she's getting dragged to Maleficent's scepter to embrace her evil side, and she becomes, as she calls it in the song, the Queen of Mean. So there's your third villain. And I mean, she looks fabulous, and Sarah Jeffrey, who plays Audrey, has a beautiful vocal. I think Queen of Mean is like, well, it was like trending and like #1 trending, so that is awesome. And yeah, love it. Anyway, I've skipped ahead, so I'm going to go back. So they choose 4 children. They choose the daughter of Dr. Facilier, Celia. That's who Mal chooses. Evie chooses Dizzy because Evie and Dizzy have a huge relationship, like love each other. I already mentioned Dizzy in the last one. And then Carlos chooses Squirmy, I think, or Jay chooses Squirmy and Squeezy, I think the other one is. Basically, twins of Mr. Smee from Peter Pan's, so they're his children. So anyway, they go. As they're about to escape, Hades tries to escape because, well, you don't know at this point that he's her dad, but Hades tries to escape. Mal and Hades have a big fight. Hades is basically sucking the power out of Mal. He gets pushed back in where there's no magic because he's like peeked out and there's like a hole so he can use his magic. Gets pushed in. Everything's good. They go to Aradan. this is when Audrey basically takes over. She arrives at Jane's birthday party, who's Fairy Godmother's daughter, who's girlfriend of Carlos, because I missed that bit in the second film, and puts everyone under a sleeping spell, which is so ironic because Sleeping Beauty's daughter puts everyone under a sleeping spell. Like, oh my god. Totally brilliant. I love Kenny Ortega. I think that was just amazing. Like, I don't think that Sleeping Beauty's daughter would do anything else than become Maleficent in her evil side. So, puts everyone under a sleeping spell. Jane manages to escape it because she goes under in the Enchanted Lake when the spell is looming over, so she escapes it. But at this point, everyone has gone back to the Isle because they need Hades' Ember, which is more powerful than Maleficent's scepter and basically is going to save everything. So Mal and Celia go to see Hades. Well, this is when you find out that Hades is Mal's dad. They sing an amazing song together called Do What You Gotta Do, and I love it. Can't remember who Hades' actor is right off the top of my tongue, but he is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love Hades anyway from Hercules, but oh my god, how he portrays Hades, spot on. Love him so much. Anyway, they sing a song and Celia finds out, and Mal basically says to Celia that the only person that knows that Hades is her dad is Evie, and not to say anything. So she gets the ember. As they're leaving, Harry and Gil from Descendants 2 also escape with them, and now they can't get back in, and Uma appears. So basically Mal promises Uma and Gil and all them that she is going to break the barrier and release them from the Hour of Lost. But before this, she'd actually had a meeting with Ben's parents, and it was her idea to close the barrier for good. So she's lying to everyone. So they go back to Auradon and are basically attacked by knights, which are in the control of Audrey, who has also put a spell on Ben, which we'll get back to. Because she wanted Ben to be with her, he said no. And she's nicked Chad, who's Cinderella's son, as like a sidekick, but he's actually very terrified of her. Oh my god, this is gonna be like 30 minutes. Oh my god. Right, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna make sure that this is not go over 35 minutes. So, yeah, that's basically that. So she puts a spell on these knights to attack him. They all join as a team, and it's called, what's the song called? When the Night Falls, which is an amazing song. I love all the Descendants free songs. So they battle, and Uma and Mal are battling because Mal's usually in charge, but Uma knows more about this stuff because it's like a sword fight. And then Evie's like, basically like, put your differences aside because, you know, we're battling things, and everyone like becomes a really great team, which is really cute. And I was like, oh, cute. They carry on going through Auradon. Evie, Mal, and Uma like go one way, and the boys go another with Celia. They run into Ben, who is turned into the Beast. Because, you know, he's Beast and Belle's son. So that wasn't a surprise. Carlos manages to calm him down and turn him back to normal, which is great. Although now he has facial hair, but it kind of looks better. Meanwhile, Evie, Mal, and I think Celia's with them too. Yeah, all the girls are there. They find Dizzy and Doug, who is Evie's boyfriend, and there's a whole big song that is a bit weird when she starts dancing with an unconscious guy, but hey ho, called One Kiss, because true love's kiss can break a spell, and that's basically what Uma says, because we saw it in the second film. And so Evie finally finds out how Doug feels about her. She kisses him, and he wakes up. Yay, true love. So they go to the fairy's cottage and to find Audrey, and everyone basically gets turned into stone, apart from Mal, after they've had the big argument where Mal basically admits that she's lying and that she's going to close the barrier for good. everyone turns to stone. This is Mal's big moment where she has her solo song, which is called My Once Upon a Time, which again is such an amazing song and basically recaps all the films in one go, which is great. So if you haven't seen them, like, that's how you find out. I have Jensen here, by the way. Like, I have my own little pet. So she decides that she's going to be good. She chases after Uma. Uma's not happy with her. And then she finds Audrey, and Audrey has got hold of Celia. So Mal turns into a dragon and goes to battle her, but she knows she's not going to win because the ember's not strong enough, and it doesn't fully work for her because she's only half Hades, half Maleficent. So it's not going to work properly. So, but with Uma's magic, they become stronger. So, and Uma decides to help Mal because she sees her struggling, and Uma's basically a really nice person, just understood, which is most villains. She helps her and they take down Audrey and save Celia, but Audrey ends up in a deep sleep because the spell doesn't fix her completely, it just puts her basically in like a coma. So the only way to save Audrey is Hades, because Hades is the only one that can use the full ember. And so that's basically what he does. He saves her. But he makes a very valid point that Audrey was doing evil stuff, but they save her. But when a villain does something, they banish them to the Isle. Mal has a sweet moment with him, and basically all is good. Then Mal basically tells Ben that she can't marry him because she can't save the Isle, and that's what she wants to do. Ben and Mal both decide to open the Isle of Lost, and so everyone can go into Auradon, everyone can go into the Isle of Lost, there's no barrier, everyone's free. They have a big dance number because it's a Disney Channel movie, and Descendants puts a big dance number in everything. And everyone comes over, including Hades. Hades and Ben get introduced because they've all found out that Hades is Mal's father because she brought him over. And he's like, I'm watching you, when Mal's hugging him and Ben, and she can't see anything. And it pretty much ends right there. Now, at the end of Descendants 3, they actually did a tribute video to Cameron Boyce because obviously they'd already filmed Descendants 3. It was pretty much coming out and he sadly passed away, which I briefly mentioned, and I will not cry. I thought that the tribute that they did was beautiful. I think that everyone definitely got to say goodbye to him, and I do think that they wrapped it up beautifully. The whole films, they're definitely not going to film another one, but I don't think they were going to anyway, regardless of what happened, because they just wrapped it up in a nice, neat bow. And I loved that, and I just thought that it was perfect. Okay, I have basically told you everything about Descendants, literally, because I loved it so much, and I loved the whole series, and I think that no matter the fact that you know everything, I think that you will generally love Descendants as much as I do. So I am going to rate the films. I am literally going to go 3, 2, 1 because I think that the third film wrapped everything up beautifully. I think that the villain in it was perfect and totally understandable and relatable, and the songs are amazing. And again, I love them all. So to be honest, even though the first one is the last one, I think it's perfect. I think that anyone can love Descendants. I don't think it is a kiddie film just because it's on Disney Channel. I think that truly anyone can love it. I think it's perfect, and I just think that Disney Channel did us proud, and they found some amazing actors and actresses to portray all these characters, and I love it. There is also a spin-off called Wicked World. I don't think that they do it anymore, but there was one which was like an animated version which had more children in. The actual daughter of Dr. Facilio wasn't Celia, it was somebody else. So I can't remember what her name was. But yeah, so I think that they wrapped it up beautifully. I think that the whole Descendants franchise has been amazing. I think we are truly blessed to be given the talents that they had, and I think we are truly blessed to have seen Cameron Boyce bloom film by film. So if you haven't seen Descendants, then I did warn you that this was going to have spoilers. By all means, because I've told you everything, please, please, please go watch Descendants. I am also going to link down below Cameron Boyce's foundation, because he was doing a charity before his passing, and now it is pretty much dedicated to him, like, to keep his work going. I am going to link it down below. It is a beautiful cause, and I truly believe that any donation is going to be appreciated for that. I'm not sponsored, obviously. No one even knows I exist, but I am going to link that down below because it is a huge part of Descendants is Cameron Boyce, and he will be very, very, very missed. Okay, so that is everything. So my questions for you: have you seen Descendants? Who's your favourite Descendants character? What's your favourite Descendants song? Honestly, my favourite Descendants song is probably Did I Mention, because I love it. I know word for word to it, and I've always loved it. But my favourite song in the first film is Did I Mention. My favourite song in the second film is Space Between, which is the duet between Evie and Mal, and then it's beautiful. And my song in the third film is probably Do What You Gotta Do, because I love the dynamic between Mal and Hades. So this has been me talking about Descendants for exactly 36 minutes. My bad, and I know it's another sit down video, but because financially I haven't actually been able to get anything new, pretty much sit down videos are all I can do for you until I am back to normal, which will be very, very soon. I have my Windows on Magic and a mystery pin box stuck currently at my American address at Ship It To. But as soon as I've got money, they will be sent over straight away. I can join in Pinderella pin sales. I'm gonna get some Halloweeny videos together, and obviously I have my pin swap with Brittany, which I need to sort because customs. I hate customs. And on top of all that, I have my box swap with Jess, which will be in September. And I also have my bounding video with Heather at Sassy Cinderella, which is next week, I think. It's either next week or the week after, but I'm going to probably go and film it next week. But you guys aren't seeing it until we put it up together, so that's irrelevant. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm really sorry if you haven't seen this. I've warned you spoilers about 60,000 times. I did want to make it short and sweet, but then I realised that actually this franchise I've grown up with, because it has been 3 whole movies and I've watched every single one pretty much as soon as they come out. They always come out in America first, but I always find a way. But anyway, so I felt like I needed to express the love and tell you all about it so that you guys can love it too. So thank you so much for watching again. I will have a video for you guys tomorrow, which is my all about the character dining, and we are talking about Cinderella's royal table. So I'm so excited to talk about that, guys, because I loved it so much, even though the food wasn't that great, but I still loved it. So again, thank you so much. Have a lovely day and find ways to be wicked. Bye.